My name is Jacob Katsman. I'm the CEO of GlobalTrade Corporation. A few words about our company. We started to work 11 years ago on the subject, what was just discussed, multi-banking. And if you would ask the banks 10 years ago, what is multi-banking and what we were doing for corporates in the trade space, everybody would say we were crazy. It's too difficult. Nobody's going to do it. How can you get, a corporate to connect to multiple banks via the internet or via any platform? At that time, there was no swift adaptation of a corporate to bank standard. It was very much a club of banks. Corporates were not part of that club. And we started, and in 2003, we were fortunate to find Daimler, who adopted our export documentary credit system. And in 2006, EADS, the parent of Airbus industry, went live with a multi-bank guarantee issuance system. So what we ended up to develop is something called GlobalTrade, which is the name of our platform, which currently has the products to support all traditional trade finance instruments, such as export documentary credits, collections, standby issuance of guarantees and receipt of guarantees, import and export documentary credits. So without speaking to you too much about our platform, I wanted to share with you information about the trends in the market and what is driving what's happening today in 2011. The good news about multi-banking is that adoption is certainly growing, and it took very little time, 10 years. Somebody say it took an eternity. To me it was an eternity, but today I can say that the adoption is growing. Just looking at our company, we've signed 3 contracts for our systems in the last 2 months. To say that we've signed 3 contracts in a year was good a few years ago. To say now that 3 contracts in the last 2 months tells you that there is real market adoption, considering also a pipeline of about 50 companies in North America and Europe that are actively in RFP stage who are looking for solutions. What is SWIFT doing with 798 is really helping that adoption, because right now you have a standard and you have a channel that is accepted to banks. Although there is work to be done on the back office integration side of banks to get back office systems straight through processing with the systems that corporates need to adopt. But we see more and more requirements in the RFPs for the MT798 corporate to bank trade standards. So what does corporate need? A company like EADS, the main demand is consolidation of information. Information currently in the corporate's treasury and business units are all over the place. In most cases, it's managed by Excel spreadsheets and outdated access databases. So the desire is there, and technology is there to aggregate this information into a platform where you can see counterparty risk, you can see issuing and confirming bank risk, and you can have a more homogeneous environment for which to transact. So what do they really need? What are corporates are asking for? They're asking for to have real-time information about outstanding contingent liabilities. They want technology to help centralize and processing and gain better control of their pricing. Because in the case of EADS, before the system was adopted, various business units were negotiating with banks about pricing. And if you had committed lines which were unutilized, then you would have additional increase of commitment fees. And by having a platform, technology, and information about these things, savings could be in the millions of euros, which is significant to any corporation today. Well, what does SWIFT help? SWIFT helps by speeding up the processing by adoption of electronic approval process and electronic communication to banks. Otherwise, you have to print out an application for an import LC or guarantee, fax it to the bank or send it via email if the bank is not accepting an email. Some banks still today don't accept emails, although some more banks are moving towards that with big corporates. And then the bank has to receive that and enter that information to the back office system in order for the import LC or guarantee to be processed. Very, very inefficient process. So imagine a world where this can go straight through on an electronic platform for a business unit approval process to the treasury, to their approval process, electronically out to the bank, into their bank's back office system, issued, and then information is sent back, ideally via SWIFT standardized message, which updates the information in the corporate system. What does management want? Well, management wants reports. And what good are the reports if they're outdated? So most companies today have information, for example, about their LCs that they've issued, but after the LC or guarantee has been amended, reduced, the information is outdated. And this is what's today in need, and this is why multi-bank platforms are in style and finally being adopted after 10 years of work. In conclusion, multi-bank trade platforms are here to stay. I think you will see that more and more banks will go onto SWIFT, and this will become a de facto standard for corporate-to-bank communication. This is my belief. Others may differ, but I think SWIFT is going to become the de facto standard for corporate-to-bank communication. They're already a de facto standard for bank-to-bank communication. And bank-hosted multi-bank fronting models would serve as an interim solution until most banks develop multi-bank channel and SDP into their back office. What does this mean? We have been working with the Italian banking group UniCredit for many years, already 8 years. And UniCredit 8 years ago was the leader, and they're still the leader because they thought outside the box. They offered their corporate clients a multi-bank platform through which to transact and opened to other banks as well. And they offered the IT hosting solution, almost like an IT provider. And they've packaged IT, access, additional trade services, and multi-bank concept. And that worked very well for them, and it worked very well for us, because this allowed the corporates to find what they were looking for, as Garrett mentioned, a multi-bank platform 8 years ago, which was not available.